I'm astonished, absolutely astonished that the White House would go this far. Jim Jordan just proved the whole thing. He asked Robert Hur in the testimony today, okay, so you wrote up this report and you gave it to the White House ahead of time because they asked for a copy and they asked for changes. Think about that, guys. They asked for changes. You can't do the changes. This is a huge discovery. I mean, this should be blasted on every single newspaper from here to the West Coast, east to west and everywhere in between. You know what? This is a big, big deal. But nobody's going to report on this. No, me, I'll report on it because, you know, like, I'm an honest broker. And I think that this is pretty pathetic that the Biden White House was trying to intervene in a report that was about to come out that talked about the president's use and misuse of confidential, classified documents. Don't forget, this is a guy who kept those documents. Oh, he's so proud of telling us where? In the garage? In the garage next to his Corvette, remember?
Classified material next to your Corvette. What were you thinking?
Let me, I'm going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage, okay? So it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
So
but anyway,
was in a locked garage.
Yes, as well as my Corvette. But as I said earlier this week, people know I take classified documents and classified material seriously. I also said we're cooperating fully and completely with the Justice Department's review. As part of that process, my lawyers reviewed other places where documents from my time as vice president were stored, and they finished the review last night. They discovered a small number of documents of classified markings in storage areas and file cabinets in my home and my personal library. This was done in the case of the Biden Penn. This was done in the case of the Biden Penn Center. The Department of Justice was immediately, as was done, the Department of Justice was immediately notified, and the lawyers arranged for the Department of Justice to take possession of the document. So we're going to see all this unfold. I'm confident. Thank you very much.
Classified material next to your Corvette. What were you thinking?
Let me, I'm going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But
Absolutely, positively unbelievable. Joe Biden, what you did was actually illegal, okay? Because don't forget, you had that little ghostwriter and you released some of these documents to the ghostwriter. Well, it turns out in the investigation, Robert Hur, he found everything out. I mean, why you're not getting tried on this, that's another thing we got to talk about. I mean, the good news for Robert Hur is I guess he's got everybody angry at him because it's like, why wouldn't you try him? He explains why to Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is just brilliant. I'm going to show you some of that too. But keep in mind what Jim Jordan was able to discover here, ladies and gentlemen. Listen again to Jim Jordan asking the question, hey, did the White House try to intervene? And what did we learn? Yes.
And did the White House get the report before the report was made public?
We did provide a draft of the report to the White House counsel's office and members of the president's personal counsel team for their review.
No, I understand. And did the White House then, once they got the report before it went public, did the White House try to weigh in with your investigation on elements of that report and, frankly, get the report changed?
They did request certain edits and changes to the draft report.
Huh. Can you believe that? They're requesting edits to the draft? Seriously? But, you know, he still left everything in there about how the president is really kind of not seeming like he's a young sprite thing. I mean, he's too old, right? He's got what seems like, dare I say, he didn't use these words, but dementia. Because in the exchange, we learned that the president couldn't remember when his son had died. That's kind of a big deal. That's kind of a really, really big deal.